including cell phones. Today, we need everyone to seatbelt fastened.
I just landed in Chicago Midway. You guys have to see this. How old is this airport? I'm in Chicago for training, and this is why I live in Arizona. Welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. Have you ever wondered what the real situation is with weather in Arizona? I touched on this in my FAQ video about Arizona. I add a card above. So what's the situation with the weather here in the state of Arizona? Well, if we're talking specifically about Phoenix, it's like an oven. About 3 or 4 months of the year, you're talking triple-digit weather. It can hit up to 120 degrees. And I like to say you need to wear oven mitts when you're driving. Now, mind you, that's 3 to 4 months of the year. The rest of the year, the weather here is beautiful. You know, I'm in shorts in the winter. It's awesome. I got nothing bad to say about the weather other than the summer months. Now, here's a couple things you may not know. Arizona doesn't get a whole lot of rain, okay? We have what's called a monsoon season, which is between June and August, and that means that's when we get storms that come through. Big lightning storms. Sometimes we get these sandstorms called haboobs that when they come through, you can't drive because you can't see where you're going, you know? You can't see 5 feet in front of you. But that's few and far between, the monsoons and all that stuff. Let's talk about the most positive thing about living in Arizona. There's no snow. Unless you want to take a 2-hour drive up to Flagstaff, there's no snow here in Arizona. It's beautiful. Another thing you may not have known is that there's not a whole lot of clouds that go over Arizona. Most of the time, the sky is just blue. Very few clouds. I'm not a scientist, I don't know why, but you just don't see too many clouds out there. Most of it's just blue. There's very little humidity, so they say it's a dry heat. So even though it gets to 120, which is still hot, it's not miserable, say like in Florida or in hot Atlanta. So that is something I definitely want to emphasize. Yes, it gets to 120, but it's a dry heat, which is a lot more bearable than if it was with humidity. A lot of people are what they call snowbirds. They live in Arizona outside of the summer months. During the summer, they go back home to wherever they're from. I see a lot of cars here from Chicago and Minnesota in particular. But there's some people from Jersey and New York here also. But if you're gonna live in Arizona, the best way to do it is to be a snowbird. Now let's talk about allergies, since it is kind of related to the weather. Allergies here are not good. People complain all the time about their allergies. And because it's a valley, it used to be back in the day that doctors would recommend people to move to Arizona if they had asthma. That's not the case anymore. My mom has asthma and she struggles sometimes. In fact, I get these alerts about, you know, don't burn wood these days and things like that. Allergies can be a serious issue here. You'll want to look into that before relocating. So this concludes another edition of Arizona Living. Be sure to like and subscribe and let us know in the comment section below your take on the Arizona weather. Do you like it or do you hate it? Till next time.